it's like those things you pray for and you don't get them until you're ready. And I think, whatever growing I had to do, it was the divine time in alignment when Jennifer and I started like being interested in each other, because we had been around each other before. We worked together before or something. But this was the time where we just felt and got to see each other in that way.
Something just ain't adding up with this dude, and Jennifer might end up paying the price. Common and Jennifer Hudson still step out smiling for the cameras, posting just enough couple shots to look picture perfect. But don't get fooled by the gloss, because while they're keeping it polished, the whispers behind the scenes are telling a way different story. Jennifer sis, guard that heart. The blogs love to scream Common blast J Hud, but let's be real. He doesn't have to drag her in interviews. His history already does the job. Every woman before Jennifer has lived the same exact cycle. He comes in like a dream, full of charm, calling his lady the best thing that ever happened to him. But the second the word commitment enters the chat, poof, he's gone like smoke in the wind. And that's why fans are side-eyeing this romance even while Jennifer swears she's happy. Let's not forget their love story went public back in 2022 after months of speculation. At first, folks were cheering. A conscious rapper linked with an EGOT powerhouse? They looked unstoppable. Their vibes matched, their careers balanced out, and everyone thought, okay, this is grown love finally done right. But now, the smiles look a little stiff. The couple still exists on paper, but breakup rumors have been bubbling since late 2023, and the whispers haven't slowed down. The big red flag? Common is suddenly the loudest one in the room, doing all the interview runs, repeating over and over how solid their bond is, while Jennifer stays classy and low-key. Fans are like, why does he sound like he's trying to convince us, or himself? And that's where the danger comes in, because Common has a pattern that's way too loud to ignore. With Serena Williams, he couldn't stop telling the press how amazing she was. With Tiffany Haddish, he said she inspired him like no other. With Taraji, he even dropped the line that she was the one. But we all know how those ended. Common fading out when things got serious. So now, when he gushes about Jennifer, fans don't hear romance anymore. They hear deja vu. The truth is, Common has become Hollywood's smoothest escape artist. He doesn't blow things up with scandals. He doesn't cause messy breakups with drama. He just slips away when forever feels too heavy. And for Jennifer, who built her empire on resilience, talent, and pure class, being tied to a man with a vanishing act habit is risky business for her brand. Fans are saying the real blast isn't coming from a messy fight, but from Common's own history, blasting through all the smiles and warning that Jennifer might be next on his heartbreak playlist. And here's what makes it spicier. Pay close attention to who's actually talking in this relationship. Every time Common gets a mic, he drops Jennifer's name like it's part of his script. He calls her a blessing, an incredible human being, even told Gayle King that he finally found a true partner. The man's laying it on so thick, it feels like he's auditioning for Husband of the Year. Meanwhile, Jennifer is playing it cool. She'll post a sweet pic here and there, flash a smile when asked, admit she's happy, but she never goes overboard. She doesn't need to. She's an EGOT winner and a daytime host. Her brand screams stability and power, not oversharing. She's worked too hard to let her private life overshadow her empire. But that's exactly what fans are nervous about. They've seen this movie before. Common gushes, tells the world he's finally found love, then fades when it counts. Jennifer's silence, some think it's her protecting her brand, others think she's letting him overplay his hand. Either way, the internet reads it one way. Common is working overtime to prove himself because even he knows his track record is messy. And honestly, that's the real blast here. Not Jennifer shading him, not Common trashing her, but his own past relationships colliding with his present. Because no matter how sweet his interviews sound, the louder he shouts about their love, the shakier it all starts to look. He bragged about how she pushed him, how her brilliance lit up every room, how he admired her grind like no other. Fans thought, okay, this is it. He finally found a woman who could match his vibe. But then came the breakup. And Serena Williams didn't sugarcoat a thing. She flat out said they split because he couldn't commit long term. Years later, Common himself admitted he was the one who pulled away. His excuse? I needed to focus on myself. Please. People had heard that tired line before, and it sounded just as weak the second time around. Then came Taraji P. Henson in the mid-2000s. Their romance was undeniable. Both of them confirmed it, and Common even gushed in interviews that she was special. Their chemistry unmatched. But Taraji, being Taraji, didn't hold back when it ended. She told the truth. He just wasn't ready to give her the stability she needed. No blow-ups, no cheating drama, just the same old pattern, him ghosting on forever. And who could forget Erykah Badu? That early 2000s relationship had the entire neo-soul scene buzzing. He rapped about her, wrote about her, moved like he was hypnotized. But years later, Common confessed the split wrecked him. The wild part? Erykah ended it because, once again, he couldn't hold on long-term. Fans still joke about the Badu effect, but the truth is uglier. It was the same cycle, him drowning in passion, then bailing when permanence showed up. His excuse, you guessed it, I wasn't ready. Fast forward to Tiffany Haddish, the one couple the internet genuinely rooted for. They went public during the pandemic, and Tiffany glowed every time she spoke his name. Common, as always, played his part perfectly, telling interviews she was beautiful, supportive, someone he could see a future with. Sound familiar? Because not even 2 years later, it was over. Tiffany admitted she was blindsided, while Common hit the press with the busy schedules excuse. Fans dragged him nonstop, pointing out that his schedule hasn't changed in 20 years. What changed was his willingness to commit. When you line up these relationships, Serena, Taraji, Erykah, Tiffany, the pattern screams louder than any interview. It's never about the women. These are powerful, iconic, successful women in their own right. It's about the man in the middle. Common built a rep as the guy who loves hard in public but quietly slips out the back door when forever knocks. So when fans look at Jennifer Hudson, they don't doubt his words. They don't even doubt his feelings in the moment. But they've seen this movie on repeat, and they already know the ending. The real blast isn't about some new scandal. It's the echoes of all those women's stories bouncing off the walls, warning Jennifer she might be next. And if there's one courtroom that never misses, it's the court of public opinion. Right now, social media has already stamped Common with a new title, Mr. Can't Commit of Hollywood. The memes are brutal. Twitter threads, TikTok stitches, shady IG captions, all singing the same chorus, Common gone common. Translation? No matter how incredible the woman is, no matter how perfect it looks, people believe he'll eventually back out. Of course, not everyone's rooting for the downfall. Some fans are holding hope for Jennifer, saying if anybody can flip the script, it's her. They post comments like, if anyone can tame him, it's J. Hud. They see her EGOT status, her talk show, her whole brand of resilience, and think she's too strong, too established to play out the same tired story. But then there's the other half of the internet, already predicting heartbreak. Some even call Jennifer out directly, saying she's lying to herself if she thinks this relationship is truly secure. At the same time, Common isn't without his defenders. He's got a loyal crowd saying, leave the man alone. He's older now, wiser, finally ready to settle. They point to therapy sessions he's spoken about, interviews where he talks growth and personal reflection, swearing he's learned from his past mistakes. To them, this isn't history repeating. It's a comeback story waiting to be written. If history really does repeat itself, then Jennifer's heart could be next on the chopping block. And let's be real, this isn't just about two stars dating. This is about their legacies, their reputations, and why the whole world is watching like it's a primetime drama unfolding in slow motion. Start with Jennifer Hudson. She's not just another celebrity, she's one of the rare entertainers who earned that golden EGOT crown. Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, Tony. On top of that, she's got her own daytime talk show, plus a carefully polished image as a survivor, a role model, and a woman who's turned pain into power. Jennifer's entire brand is about resilience, rising above heartbreak and tragedy, coming back stronger every single time. That's why her fans are fiercely protective now. To them, she's worked way too hard, fought through too much, and carries too much grace to be tied down to a man who might just ghost when the word forever comes up. Now, Common's resume is solid too. A Grammy and Oscar winner, an activist with respect in political circles, an actor who slid right into Hollywood without breaking a sweat. His brand? The deep, conscious rapper with wisdom and soul. But here's the stain he can't wash away. That Mr. Commitment Phobe tag stamped on him by every failed romance. Each high-profile breakup has fed the legend. Fans say he's the man who'll write you poetry, sing your praises, call you his queen, but won't walk you down the aisle when it matters most. Put those two brands together and the stakes skyrocket. If Common plays his old disappearing act on Jennifer Hudson, it won't just be another breakup. It'll be a full-blown PR nightmare. The internet will roast him for doing exactly what everyone predicted. And Jennifer, she'll be left trying to shield her empire while dodging headlines about yet another heartbreak. Fans are already whispering that she's lying to herself. Not because they think she's weak, but because her carefully built image won't let her admit she might be stepping into the same trap that caught Serena, Taraji, Tiffany, and Erica. And that right there is where the real blast lives. Common doesn't have to shade Jennifer. His history is blasting her loud enough already. No matter how many interviews he gives calling her amazing, no matter how many times he gushes about finding a true partner, the echoes of those past relationships ring in the background, and the internet hears them crystal clear. So what happens next? Fans are split down the middle. Some believe Jennifer has the strength, the power, the sheer force of will to finally break the cycle and make Common settle down for real. Others aren't buying it. They think she's just the next name on a long list of heartbreaks, a temporary chapter before he moves on yet again. Either way, this love story isn't just about romance anymore. It's about reputation, legacy, and image. If Common proves the skeptics right, he won't just be remembered as a man who loved and left. He'll be forever branded as the man who could never commit. And for Jennifer, it'll be another test of that legendary resilience, another chance to show the world how she rises from heartbreak stronger than before.